Every time I turn around, I see the girl who turns my world around. Standing there. Every time I turn around, her spirit's lifting me right off the ground. What's gonna be? Guess we'll just wait and see. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, hello there. I didn't realize I was streaming already.
Were you?
While we wait for the gathering, I shall chant the sacred mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Third time's a charm. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Boom, Hare Krishna, says my tambourine. What's up, Facebook user? StreamYard does not show me who you are, but I'm sure you're cool. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Tuesday Night Live, starting 4 minutes early because I believe in rewarding the early birds. As some of you may have heard, I was chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare means praise, and Krishna is one of the Hindu gods. He was blue. And, amongst other things, he was symbolic of love. And Hare Rama, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong for those of you that know better, but Ram, if Ram and Rama are the same thing, Ram is a word for God. So when I hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, what I'm actually hearing is praise love, love, praise, praise God, God, praise. That we're actually at the end of the day all praying to the same things. We're all praying to love, to unity, to oneness, to peace, to healing. We are all actually connecting to the same qualities, and regardless of what religion, I'm aware that each religion has different tenets. They all talk about different things. That's all very, very, very important for the discerning mind. And there are shared qualities that are to be found in all of them. Shared qualities that are praised across the boards. The Dalai Lama often referred to these as basic human values, things like love, compassion, forgiveness, patience, etc. And, moving forwards as this earth becomes more and more connected, in some ways, we obviously want to preserve and conserve our unique identities and cultures. There's so much value and richness in different traditions. There's also a lot of value in bringing more togetherness. And I think more than anything, this world, our cultures, and America specifically, or definitely, needs more coming togetherness, more coming together. That there's an incredible amount of division, mostly fed through the media, but then embodied, believed in by the people. And then we carry these vibrations. And by carrying these vibrations, then we hold beliefs about each other. I have been to 31, who's counting, countries. And I can really tell you that everywhere I've gone, I've met really beautiful, loving people. I've traveled across the US, and honestly, I befriend a lot of people who have very different views than mine, and whatever. That's just their conditioning, There's times where I was more interested in fighting and debating and trying to make my right more right than their right, try to make their right wrong. I have great reasons, and I have science behind me, and I have things and things. And at the end of the day, it's like, sure, if your role on this planet is to be an educator and to educate, go for it. And it's important that we all educate each other constantly. And simultaneously, what I just see is a lack of bridges, a lack of people finding way to bridge people together to create a unified field. This is, the inside mirrors the outside. We'll say it like that. That what you experience outside of yourself, you're also going to experience within yourself. And the things that you experience within yourself, you will also experience outside, within, without. The way that we treat people is the way that we treat parts of ourselves. If somebody does something that is wrong, that is bad, that is dumb, we often feel permission to disrespect that person, to demonize them. We see that in the media. We see that even just through driving around. If somebody thinks that you cut them off, they think they have the reason to yell profanities at you. If you think that someone did something driving, a lot of cars I get into, we look at this stupid guy. What's this stupid person doing? You see this in the comments of social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That is the cesspool, as it were. Well, there's a lot of brilliance in there as well. There's something super brilliant about having such a massive collection of eyes and minds that anything that's thrown out into social media, it gets all these perspectives. There's a lot of wisdom to be gained. And there's also just a high level of toxicity within that. What's up, Karen? Hi, Sue. Hello, Tessa. Thank you all for joining. And thank you for those of you joining in the future. But to you, I'm talking to you now, even though you're hearing me in the future. Time is not real, right? This is all just happening. So something that I really liked is I went to this guy Parangi. He's a musician. He does ceremonial music, and it's really beautiful. And all of his shows are kind of like ceremonies. He said, back in the day, right, a couple hundred years ago, if you wanted music, you would have to go to where the musicians were, or you'd have to invite them to where you were, right, to play. That then necessarily means that you have to be in community, that you have to be connected to these people, that you have to probably be nice and respectful to them, or at least pay them. Yeah, that there is some sort of communal exchange that involves people. I even remember when I was a kid, not that long ago, what was that, 35 years ago-ish, 30 years ago, when cell phones did not exist yet, and I wanted to see a friend, I would call my friend's house and I would speak to my friend's mom or brother or sister who would answer the phone, and I would say, "Oh, hey, it's Seth. Is, my friend Pat Courtney home?" He was my best friend when I was 5. And I'd have to talk to his parents, and, "Oh, what are you guys up to?" And, I'd have to figure that out or lie or whatever. But there was this community that I was, if I was friends with somebody, I became friends with their family just out of necessity, because that was how connection worked then. So it forced me, and it forced all of us to be a little more respectful towards each other, it necessitated us to have to see each other more and care more. And I remember when I went to South Dakota when I was in college, and went to a Navajo Sioux reservation. When I was hanging out, a 5-year-old monk. I wasn't a monk yet, Tessa. And I was hanging out by the side of the road. I remember that, one car would drive by every 10 minutes or something, or 20 minutes, or maybe 2 cars an hour kind of thing. But every car that drove by, they waved at me and I waved back at them. And I, had never experienced anything like that coming from a suburb in Massachusetts, about 30 minutes from Boston. We see people everywhere, right? But over there, because there was less people, everyone they saw was like this novel thing, like, oh, hey, a person. Or even more so, because there wasn't a lot of them, you are friendly to people around you, because if there's only 10 people, if you piss them off, like, that's not great for you. So when there's less people, that you even make more of an effort to kind of engage and connect and get on their good side, in their good graces. Whereas when you go to New York City, or somewhere that's really dense, you're kind of forced into this like tunnel vision perspective, because there's just too many people. You couldn't really say hi to everyone you passed, because there's just too many. It wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't move, because you would just be hello and then right. So because the amount of human connection is so overwhelming, you're forced to kind of shut down and then just focus on like yourself and your path, and everyone just becomes kind of noise around you, right? Unless you kind of play and swim in the stream and interact. Like when I'm in India, I'm kind of, on one hand, just weaving through all the people, but I'm also very open to kind of the moment and to connections and to catching someone's eye or making a joke to a stranger as I'm passing them or whatever, right? But as technology progressed, and as we have cell phones and Amazon and Spotify and all these things, we can pretty much get whatever we want. You could probably, technically, theoretically, get pretty much everything you want, pretty much, without having to interact with another human being in a real way. We can just click on a thing to get the music, click on a thing to get the groceries, click on the thing to get the thing delivered. Things we want, we just boom, and we just interact with them, And then our mind becomes geared towards get me what I want, click now, click, give me what I want now, click. So when we're driving and then there's another car that's trying to merge into our lane, instead of having the, community mentality of, hey, we're sharing the road here. So like if another car needs to get in, I'll slow down for a second to let them in and it's fine. We now are like, no, like that's getting in the way of me getting what I want now. They're trying to get in my way and I'm here, so they're in my way, right? So we become very like me getting what I want focused. And people don't matter to us collectively as much because of that, because we don't depend on each other like we used to. So this is just an interesting, thought, an interesting observation of how this is kind of also, and there's many aspects, many parts, but how this is, shifted towards us then seeing each other more as obstacles, right? Getting in the way of us getting what I want, not necessary. And then with media really feeding into that, a lot of side against side, Republicans against Democrats, races against races, countries against countries, sports teams against sports teams, singer against singer, whatever. That we create a lot of separation, men against women. It goes on, and there is something that was really important in all of that, because there were imbalances, there was injustices, there was inequalities. So on one hand, it was very important to highlight, hey, like these two groups are being treated differently, and simultaneously, and this is actually how I felt after September 11th in the US, after September 11th happened and the World Trade Center was demolished and many people died. The leader of this country, the commander-in-chief at the time, George W., there was such an opportunity in that moment to speak to the hearts of all of the people, to speak to shock and the grief and the sadness to steer the direction on a healing path, to demonstrate, to even acknowledge that, according to, if you don't think that was all just like a government setup, right? That was an act of duality. It was an act of violence from one thing against the other thing, and that was maybe a moment to be like, hey, guess what? Like, side against side, will result in that. And like, guys, especially the Americans watching this, like the tragedy of September 11th, and think about, the never forget and the anger and the grief and the sadness. And now think about like what we did to Japan with the 2 nuclear bombs. And that country is like a little island. I mean, if you can imagine what happened on September 11th, and just multiply that by a lot. And we did that to someone else. Think about the Vietnam War. We went into Vietnam and just destroyed half that country. But as an American, if you go over to Japan, if you go to Vietnam now, they're so friendly. They're so happy to see us, right? There's not groups of people that are sitting there, America. I'm sure there are, but generally. But still to this day, if you take someone of Middle Eastern descent, and you bring them to probably 70% of America, they'll still get looked at funny. They'll still maybe be called terrorists, or, labeled somehow as bad, connected to this thing that happened to us. And so, this is an important bigger picture to talk about, that we're kind of microscoped in on who did what, and right and wrong, and good and bad. But we're not zooming out to see, well, who's starting these conversations and why, and zooming out even more and seeing what is this actually doing to us collectively, and also who's benefiting from that, right? Because at the end of the day, we are a country that has turned against itself in a lot of ways. The majority is turned against the majority. And that keeps us, in fight or flight. It keeps us stuck and feeling defensive in our nervous system. It keeps us out of unity consciousness. It keeps us out of love. It keeps us out of feeling safe. Some would even say it, stops us from uniting as a people to rise up against, the injustices of the government and the oppressive systems that we're in, that are profiting off of us. And there is truth to that also, right? That is also 100% part of the truth. As we see all that externally, I had a monk come to my monastery. His name was Claude Anshin Thomas. He was an American monk who was a Vietnam War vet first. And his thing was doing like these peace walks, that he would walk the length of the border between Israel and Palestine, or between the US and Mexico. Or he would lead retreats with Bernie Glassman also at concentration camps in Germany. Went to Auschwitz, and they would do retreats, meditation retreats there. And as the people were taking in the horror of that place, he would also look around and say, if in your own heart you have intolerance, if in your own heart you have separation, if in your own heart you have hatred, that is the seed of a future concentration camp, right? That the most horrible things that we've ever witnessed on this earth started as a seed in somebody's heart, of feeling of anger, a feeling of enemy, a feeling of you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. And so to end the outside, we must end the inside. When we talk about unity and unifying people, countries, nations, groups, we're also being invited then to reflect back on ourselves and to ask ourselves, which parts of myself am I rejecting? Which parts of myself do I want to die? Which parts of myself do I want to destroy and erase? Which parts of myself am I keeping separate? Am I ashamed of? Do I judge and criticize? Which parts of myself am I abusing and mistreating? Which parts of myself am I neglecting? Which parts of myself desperately want love and acceptance and to be seen and heard and felt, but are receiving the opposite? How can I already begin making peace within myself? Thich Nhat Hanh has a calligraphy where he makes this signature Zen circle, and then inside he wrote, peace in yourself, peace in the world. So it's the same thing. Our ability to have coherence within us will allow us to have harmony and coherence in our lives. If there's anything within us that we are struggling against, fighting against, blaming, judging, shaming, all acts of violence, we will project that out into the field, and we will then judge, blame, commit violence to others, or we will think that we deserve that because I don't really feel valuable, I don't really feel worthy, I deserve to be mistreated, I deserve to be abused, I don't deserve happiness, I deserve to be disrespected by my family, I deserve to be unloved in my relationships, I deserve to be miserable. Or we think someone outside of us deserves that. Fuck them. They deserve to be miserable. They're not lovable. They don't deserve respect. I didn't even realize that it's almost September 11th, actually, just bringing all that in. That just kind of flowed through. But yeah, very fitting. Indeed. So this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to connect with all parts of ourselves. This is an opportunity to accept all parts of ourselves. It's an opportunity to decide to be happy, to decide to create our reality. We're always creating our reality, whether we're aware of that or not. There's something that I wanted to touch on briefly, and this is something that I could potentially give like a whole retreat on. But I was at something this weekend with a man named Donnie Epstein, and this was network chiropractic is what it's called, but it's really just magic. It's magic and energy work, which is magic. And somebody got up on the mic, this girl, and she said, I have this relationship and it's kind of boring and it's not really fulfilling me and giving me what I need. But it feels safe and I like it, but it's not really the thing. But I'm also like afraid to leave and I don't know kind of what I want. And he was like, oh, he's like, where do you feel safety, and in your body, out of your body, around yourself, right? Where do you feel safety? And she's like, here. He's like, okay, good. He's like, where do you feel joy? And she's like, like here. He's like, great, cool. He's like, when I say husband, where do you feel husband? And she's like, here. Okay, awesome. Where do you feel stuckness? And she's like, here. And he's like, uh-oh. Where do you feel depression? She's like, here. Okay. He's like, where do you feel like a wild and fulfilling sexual life? And she's like, like here. He's like, yeah. He's like, where do you feel like victory? And she's like, here. It's like, okay, yeah. And then he's like, so where you feel husband, where you feel relationship, is where you feel safety. But it's also where you feel stuckness. It's also where you feel depression. So you're going to have relationships that feel safe, but they also make you feel stuck and depressed because you hold all those energies in the same area. And what they're not going to have is joy. What they're not going to have is wild, orgasmic pleasure because you have those energies separated. And so because you've grouped these things together, you're going to keep receiving these things as a group, and they're going to be separate from these things. And he said, so what if I were to tell you that the relationship, the universe wants you to have the relationship because it's about your growth and it's about your pleasure, and the relationship is actually something that's going to propel you forward to birth a new world through you, to birth humanity through you. And she's like, whoa. She's like, yeah, I feel that kind of here. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, what if a relationship was to teach you to open yourself up so you could receive more joy and more orgasmic pleasure? What if actually it's not that the relationship's going to have that, it's that you're going to open up into that and allow that to be created and channeled into the relationship? What if it's actually a growth portal? She's like, oh, then it's like here. He's like, great. He's like, what if the relationship is actually something that can transform you into being this like powerful, orgasmic creature or whatever? She's like, yeah, like here. And he's like, okay. And he's like, so now when you say relationship, where do you feel it? And she's like, here. Right. So now she shifted it from being with stuckness and fear and depression to now feeling it up there with the other energies that she wants it to be in relationship to. Okay. And when you think about husband, where's husband? She's like, here. And he's like, uh-oh. Right. So the idea, the energy anchor of husband is still with stuckness, depression. He's like, great. So imagine that your husband is going to be the person that helps you unlock your deepest like orgasmic pleasure. And this isn't like word for word, but she's using this. She's like, oh, like here. It's like, okay, cool. Now where's husband? Okay, here. Cool. Right? So by asking her these questions, where are things located? Are they in your body? Are they around her body? Right? She's creating an energetic map, an energetic blueprint of where things are located, right? Where's money? Where's success? Where's failure? Where's fear? Right? Where's health? Where's sickness? Where's my sense of me? So by figuring all of these things out, we start to create an energetic blueprint, and we start to see what things are grouped together. And we start to understand why some things have been seemingly elusive to us. Is because we ourselves have been holding some things here, right? I've been holding money and fear and unworthiness in one spot, but like success and an extraordinary life and with unreasonable happiness is up here. And it's like, cool. So for me, like money is down here, but extraordinary is up here. How can I shift money up to extraordinary? right? How can I maybe shift it to say, hey, like me receiving money is actually the best thing for the universe, that it is coming through and it is supporting me in my growth, which is then going to also come out and support other people. Ooh, suddenly me getting money is actually just more resources to give from, right? Suddenly everyone is celebrating when I get more money. Suddenly, right, this whole thing opens up. And now money is up there, right? Now relationship is up there. So we're starting to put the things together that we want to have together energetically and starting to create that separation. Okay. If you're following me, let me know if you're following me. So this is magic. Okay. This is magic. This is how magic works. We are always creating our reality. We just didn't see how we were doing it. This is how we create our reality, is where we're energetically anchoring and grouping things in our fields. If we're grouping things together, that's what we're creating. By shifting the elements to where we want them, we now can project a different reality into the field and a new reality gets created. I've been practicing this for a couple days now, but already with amazing results. Amazing results. I also work in an outpatient center with people that have severe mental illness, and I taught this to them this morning. Amazing results. Really, really cool aha moments and breakthroughs from them. So I am now teaching this to you guys because everyone should know. Also, to give something power, it has to be not just about me, but about we. It has to be about we. So it's not just like, I'm going to be happy and I'm no, it's we, the collective, for the future that we are all birthing, right? So it's you connect to the highest possible vibration you can, which is a we vibration. Is that it's like the prayers of may all beings be happy sort of vibe. It's like the new future that is birthing all of us, that is birthing reality that we're all connected to. The new future is flowing through me and pulling me towards it as an instrumental role, right? And this new shifting consciousness birthed by humanity. And I am playing a very important part with that. And therefore I am supported. I'm healing through that because I am a part of that. I'm connected to the membrane of all things. My health is the health of all. My resources, the resources of all. My energy is the energy of all. The better off that I am, the better off all are. This is all one thing. That's all rising together, right? And it shifts it into a we state. And it adds exponential more power to it. And it also creates that reality. It is so. So it is. So this is something for you to practice. I walk people through this I've been walking people like one-on-one through this. And I thought about having like a demonstration and doing it with someone here, and that could be a whole thing, but I'm tired. It's been a long day. So instead, I just wanted to give this to you for you to practice yourself, for you to take a notebook and to write, and these are the different areas you could work with. You could work with relationships, you could work with health, you could work with money and finance, right? There's other areas, right? But you pick an area and then you start to just write anything you can, right? So let's say you pick love and relationship, right? So then you write, where's love? Where's relationship? Where's safety? Where's loyalty? Where's sex? Where's joy? Right? Where's care? Where's mom? Where's dad? Where's boyfriend? Where's wife? Whatever it is. And you write it all out. And then you ask yourself and you check your field where each of these things are located. And it's going to be like in you or around you, right? And ideally, and so from what I learned, there's two different kinds of people. There's internal and external. Internal people, they actually source a lot of energy from their past. External people, they source energy from their future. So for an internal person, you want to move everything to an internal spot because that's what gives you energy. For an external person, you want everything to be out here. So the way that I often do that is like, well, where do you feel like victory? Where do you feel success? Where do you feel like, just think of the biggest things you can. And if they're like, wow, like I feel it all here. And then where do you feel fear? Oh, fear is out there, right? So if like fear and sadness and all that stuff's out there, but like all the good things are here, cool, you're internal. If if you're, however, like, this is my fear and my sadness and all my things are here, but out there's all the good stuff, right? Then you're an external. So that's how you know. If you're an external, shift all the good things up. Shift all the good things up, all the things you want up, and all the things that you don't want, like, they can then be here or like kind of even behind you, or at least just anchored around the body, because they're internal. That's what your constitution wants. This is the way to create reality. I know you didn't necessarily think that you'd be sitting on a Facebook call with Seth Monk in Los Angeles with 16 other people and suddenly being given the keys to the kingdom. But here you go. You have good karma to be on this call. This is how we create reality. This is how we create reality. So we shift the energies. You journal all that stuff out. You write out. You pick the theme you want. You write out all the different things. And then you point by point go through it. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? And if anything is overlapped, if I realize that I'm holding, when I think of relationships and I feel it here, and then I think of, I'll do this, and then I think of betrayal, and then I feel it here. And I think of depression, I feel it here. It's like, uh-oh. I feel betrayal in relationships and stuck in depression all in the same spot. Fuck. That means that I'm energetically anchoring and connecting these things together. Fuck. Right? I want to pull relationships out of that, and I want to connect relationships to happiness, to freedom, to joy, to sexiness, to adventure. Right? I want to connect it to the things that I want it to be connected to. Hi, Mom. Good timing. Yeah. That we can start to separate from our energetic fields these groups and create these groups within us. Right? So I talked to Donnie Epstein, who was the guy that was running this. Mom, by the way, so Donnie Epstein's thing that I just went to, he's like, oh, where are you from? And I was like, oh, just another Jewish family from the Bronx. He's like, I'm from the Bronx. What are the last names? And I told him the last names. He's turning 70. And I was like, oh. And he wanted to know what part of the Bronx you were from. Anywho, so I was talking to Donnie Epstein, and I said, I've had Lyme disease. I had it 5 years ago, and like cyclically, I'll have like a recurrence of symptoms. And, I believe that that's just the damage that it did is just kind of flaring up or whatever. But I asked him, I just want to tell you guys, and I'm saying this for real. There's a man in a wheelchair that came to this event, and he lay on the massage table, and Donnie did whatever magical things. And it's not cracking. It's more like shooting energy, and, who knows what the hell's going on. But he, had him lift his hips, and suddenly his spine was moving, and then he had him, move one leg. I witnessed this man who was paralyzed from the waist down for the last 3.5 years stand up with support and start taking steps with a room of 200 people crying and applauding. And on the last day, he stood up at the mic and shared, standing by himself. Your access to the unreasonable and extraordinary. I should probably make like an Amazon link to get a cut of this. Like, it's crazy. But no, for real. So it was unbelievable and extraordinary. And so anyway, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to give you guys the whole story. Here's the whole story. The event was ending. Donnie was on stage giving his final talk. He had some products that he was like showing, things for like the brain and different energy devices. And I got this book, and I brought my marker, and I was like, I really want him to sign my book. And it was like the last day, and 200 people in the thing, and he was very like in and out, and he has this posse kind of like diverting people away from him. And so I went back from the stage, and there was like the booth where they have the laptops and they're doing all the stuff. And I found his assistant, and I said, can I get my book signed, do you think? And he's like, no way. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, probably not. Like, if he signs one book, he's gonna have to sign everyone's book, and it's just too much. I was like, okay. So then I turned around and I'm like at the back of the room looking at the stage, holding my book, like feeling kind of defeated. And I said, well, you know what? Like, let's put my money where my mouth is here. Where's the feeling of success here? Where's my feeling of victory here? Where's the feeling of Donnie signing my book here? I was like, okay, I have that locked in a low energy state. Where's my fear here? Where's my feeling of unworthiness here? I was like, cool. So I was like, I'm going to take Donnie signing my book and I'm going to stick it up in the field. And I said, Donnie signing my book is for the highest good of all. It's going to give me an energetic anchor to him and allow his energy to flow through me as I'm helping other people. His energy will also be working through me, helping other people. I'm going to be part of the flow. Boom, put it up there. And then I took my unworthiness and I said, just put it up there. And I didn't even think anything. I just said, I'm putting my unworthiness up there. I'm putting my fear up there. I'm putting like my feeling a little bit like embarrassed. I'm like, hey, can you sign my book? Right? Like putting that up there, neediness, whatever judgment I had, just started putting everything up there into this feeling, connecting it all to this feeling of victory, to this feeling of success, to this feeling of like just love and deservingness and unity. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, and then I just let it go, you know? And about 10 minutes later, he finished his talk and he started walking off the stage. So I had my book and it's like, well, you never know. So I kind of like walked towards like the side of the stage a little bit where he was going. And I saw suddenly that he picked up all of the products that he was selling. And I was like, oh, okay. Like he doesn't even have a free hand. It's like, forget it. Like, and then so he was walking, you know, down and kind of passed me and had all the stuff. And I was just like, and I was like, you know what? Like, I just want to say thank you to this man. Like, I just want to thank him. It's like, whatever. So he came towards me and I walked towards him. I said, Donnie, I just want to say thank. And he just said, here, take this. And he just gave me all this stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, now my armfuls. So I'm like this with like my armfuls of stuff now. And he was like, thank you. And then he was like greeting people. I was like, can you sign my book? He's like, yeah, just follow me. And I was like, okay. And then like, so I just kind of start following him, like carrying like an armful of like stuff, like, and his assistant sees what's happening. He's like, come on. And so I like follow Donnie and eventually like I'm alone in a room with Donnie. You know, which doesn't happen very much. And I did have him sign my book, and it was funny because he started and he took out I gave him the marker and he wrote deer, and he goes, I want to write monkey. And I was like, Seth Monk, like monkey. And he's like, oh, you know, and he's like, yeah, okay, Seth. I was like, yeah. And he goes, all right, thank you. And then we chatted and then he writes and he's like, and he still ended up writing monkey. So wrote deer monkey. So anywho, thank you for being part of the transition to the unreasonable and extraordinary. Next tier of humanity lived on, right? So he signs my book and I'm like, well, like, okay, fuck, this worked. And then I remembered that on the plane ride out there, I had 3 intentions. One was to learn some tools. One was to make a personal connection with Donnie. And one was to get some support with my Lyme. And he wrote the book. He's like, all right, thank you. And he stood up and I said, and I just want to like ask, like, I've had Lyme disease for like 5 years and I'm mostly better, but still kind of comes with like some symptoms. And what can I do? And he kind of like sits back down. He looks at me. He's like, you internal or external? I was like, external, you know, I feel charged up by the future. And he's like, okay, where do you feel your body? And I was like here. And he goes, okay, where do you feel love? And I was like, here. And he's like, all right, where do you feel victory? And I was like, here. And he's like, good. And then he kind of closed his eyes and I just felt something happening, something kind of flowing into me, like my heart started warming. And he just opened his eyes and he looked at me and he said, it's not your body. And I was like, okay. And he said, it's not your body. It's the collective body of all people that is all healing together, opening up and birthing this new tier of humanity in the future. Connecting the sense of your body into that field, into the sense, the membrane of the collective, into the sense of victory, into this new humanity that is birthing here on this planet through all of us. That your body, your healing of your body is connected to the healing of all people, to the birthing of this new humanity in the collective. And he said, if you're connecting to your body, you're connecting to the past. The way you've been connecting to your body, you're connecting to it in the past. If you focus on the past, your future will become your past. Okay. I'm going to say that again. Everybody, if you can, type that in the comments for yourself. If you focus on the past, your future will become your past. If you focus on the past, you're going to just continue the energy of the past and you're going to pull it into your future. You're going to continue the energy that you don't want. If you focus on your past, your future will become your past. Your past will be pulled into the future. To experience the unreasonable and extraordinary, you focus on the future. You let yourself connect to this future world that is birthing. You let yourself connect to this future of victory, of success, of happiness, of bliss, of all beings celebrating, because it's for everybody. All beings are celebrating, all beings are rejoicing, all beings are at peace, all beings are healed, connecting to the new world birthing through all beings. My grandma called me monkey when I'd visit the monastery. Really? I didn't remember that. That's incredible. All right, that's a whole other level. So connecting to the future and connecting my body, the sickness, quote unquote, which is not a fucking way to talk about it, right? Connecting my body sense into the future and allowing the future to wash onto me and to allow this to get pulled towards the future, not to be bound up by the past, like taffy pulling at the present moment back into the past, like trauma, but to allow the future to be flooding into this moment and just easily and swiftly expanding, lifting, guiding this moment into the future. Of peace, of healing, of victory, of unity, of love and happiness for all beings, all of us. Connecting to that field of energy, letting that field of energy flood into this moment, into this body, into this space. Anything that we're worried about, anything that is not working in our lives the way we want it to, shifting it up into that space. If your relationship and your fear are both around the same area, move the relationship into the light, then move the fear up there too. Take anything you want to shift and you stick it up there with those feelings of success, those feelings of victory, with the highest vibrations you can, past your fingers, reaching out past your fingertips, out thousands of miles into the infinity beyond, just shining that up and out. And anything that you want resolution with, you throw it up there. I was getting on my plane to get home and there was a 2-hour wait at security in Denver airport, probably one of the biggest airports in the world. And I was like, all right, I'm putting my flight up into that field. I'm putting, elated to that field. I'm just putting it all up there into feeling of success. I was like, okay. Literally 3 minutes later, some guy leans over from outside of the line wearing a suit. Kind of, it's like holding on to like a railing and like leans over. He goes, if anybody wants to sign up for clear, you don't have to wait in this line. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, it's like $150 and you just get to go to the front. And I'm like, I'm in. Get out of the line, go all the way around to all the security, go to this thing, sign up. Here's my license, pay the thing. Here's your clear. I don't have to wait in line anymore for the next year of me flying, first of all, for $150. And I got to go right to the front of the line, went right through security, made my flight. So had powerful experiences with this today at the treatment center. I was teaching this to people with severe mental illnesses. Powerful results for, confidentiality reasons, etc. I won't get too much into what happened there, but I'll just say that people are having some pretty big aha moments, realizing that they're holding in their fields. They're holding in their fields. I have depression here. I have relationships here, right? I have future here. I have family here. I have stuckness here, right? So when I feel into where in my field, when I say the word family, where do I feel it? I feel it here. Oh, great. Where do I feel depression? Oh, I feel here. Oh, so family and depression are in the same place. Awesome. That now those two have an interlinking, a relationship. What if I now instead take family and say, what if my family is a gathering of souls that are here to help support, love, and ascend each other into the most beautiful, highest dimension possible? What if my family is chosen? We chose each other, but also gifted to us, also connected to a higher source. What if our families are a divinely inspired grouping that with the most love were given to us all to grow and shift and evolve, to get as close to light as possible? What if family is actually a mirror of God? Whew, suddenly family is up there with God. Where's depression? Here. Where's family now? Whew, up there. So learning to shift these energetic anchors in your field, if they're inside or outside, learning to shift them into places you want them to be, connected with other energy states. If they're low energy, if they're high energy, letting them be in like states, weeding out the things that are not working in your life. My career is not working. Cool. Where do you have career? Here. Where do you have anxiety? Here. Oh, cool. Career and anxiety, same place. Awesome. Where do you have fun? Here. Where do you have wealth? Here. Cool. How are you going to get wealth and excitement in your career if your career is down here with your anxiety? How can I shift career up into the fields? How can I put it up with those other things? As we do this, we begin creating a new reality. This is real magic. This is real magic because we are already doing it. We are already creating our realities every single day because of where we're holding things in our fields. We are already doing that. But we have been doing it unconsciously. So let's get in the fucking driver's seat and start deciding where we put things and start creating the reality that we want to be experiencing. This is an opportunity to literally recreate your life. By shifting these energies, we now project a different reality out into the fields and receive new things. Tess asks, how would you shift anxiety? I would first say anxiety is allowed to be there, and allow anxiety. If I felt anxious, what I've been doing is I've just been taking it and boop, just throwing it up there. But I'd say more importantly is, what if we allow anxiety to be here? But what else is around anxiety? Is it relationships? Is it jobs? What else is in there that we actually want? When I think or feel about my relationship, I don't want it to be connected to anxiety. I want it to be connected to joy. So it's not the anxiety's problem. It's just that I have grouped with anxiety things that I would actually rather group with a feeling of joy and happiness and celebration. Right? So for now, I wouldn't bother with the things you don't want or the things you don't like. I would leave those things be. Right? And that's also just because I don't know. This is all very new to me. I assume you could just throw those things up in the field too, which I've been doing anyway. But I think more importantly is finding the things that you want to connect with a better place, the things that you want to feel better about, and actually going through this process. And this is a thought process. It's a feeling process. It's a what if, opening up to new possibilities. What if this is actually for a highest good? What if this is connected to the greatest good of all? What if my happiness is everyone's happiness, and me being happy is going to spread happiness throughout the universe? And the new humanity that is birthing is going to be birthed through the vibrations of my happiness, and me being an anchor for that and a pillar for that, and embodying that in this place will help create the new earth because I am an anchor and a pillar for that new vibration coming through. Allowing yourself to resonate, allowing your happiness to be the happiness of all, your success to be the success of all, your love to be the love of all, your health to be the health of all, aligning ourselves with the highest good vibrationally will propel us forward as that highest good, as that new thing is birthing. We are now directly connected to it, and we're all in it together. Because in all the prayers, all the work thing everyone else is doing, all the just giant movements, that tidal wave of change that's coming, we're just in it. We're now a molecule, a drop of water in that ocean wave. So it's going to change. It's going to happen because we're a part of it. Right. And we open up the possibility for unreasonable and extraordinary changes, things that we didn't think possible. Everybody close your eyes, take a deep breath. Phew, opening up. Connecting up to a feeling of success, a feeling of victory, total, infinite, continuous victory, infinite gratitude, receiving, connecting to a sense of unity, of oneness, of allness, feeling loved and cherished and blessed and connected to the entire cosmos flowing through you. You are special, you are important, you are wanted, you are powerful, you are here for a reason. You are literally serving the highest purpose by receiving this love. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to fix or change. You are allowed to receive this energy because it is already you. It is already there. It is like turning on a faucet. The water is just waiting there, waiting for you to turn on the faucet so it can just flow through. This love, this acknowledgement, this appreciation, this belonging, this divine connection is just right there waiting for you. So opening up in the sense of victory, of celebration, receiving just this divine grace, this divine love, these divine blessings, this divine anchoring into the body, into the physical body, into the energy field, into the emotional body, into the mental body, into the karmic body, into the relational body, through all the organs, through all the molecules of the body, through all the cells, through all the cell walls, into the body, into the earth, into the ground, into our relationships, our relations, our families, our friends, our neighbors, our communities, those we've seen, those we've never seen, those who are here, those who are past, those who are yet to be born. Connecting to all those in all dimensions across this earth, this galaxy, and all galaxies, across the whole universe in every dimension, from past, future, and present, in times we don't even understand. Just sending out the wish for the highest good, the greatest good of all. May my health is connected to the highest good of all, to the change of this planet, and the highest and best, moving it towards the dimension of awakening, to the new earth that is birthing, necessarily for the continuation of our species, the new earth that is necessarily birthing, that we are a part of. My health is connected to that. My body is connected to that. My finances are connected to that. My wealth, my job, my career is connected to that. My purpose is connected to that. My relationships are connected to that. My boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, my families, my mother, my father, my grandparents, my children, brothers, sisters, nephews, aunts, uncles, everybody is connected into that stream. My heart, my love, my body, all facets of my life, all of my successes, all of my joys, it is all connected into that stream. Receiving fully through our entire body. May all parts of me receive this love. May all parts of me have access to this field. May all parts of me be connected, be open to the flow, be open to the connection, be open to receiving. May all parts of me ascend into this future that is now, the vibrations of which that are now, that is birthing through the now. The vibration is here right now of the future to be accessed. It flows through me into my past. My past does not control me. My future controls my past. I am pulled forward into my future. My past shifts based on my future. A note is only incorrect based on the note that is played after it. My past only makes sense in context to the future in which I am whole and healed and complete. Then my past is a hero's quest. It is a journey. It is a grouping of lessons that I can share and teach from because I understand what it is feeling like to be lost, to be in pain, to be heavy, to be stuck, and then to be awakened, healthy, happy, and free. My past has just been a template for my awakening, which I am stepping into the vibration of now. I'm stepping into the vibration of my future awakening, of this future earth, of the future society, the future communities. I'm connecting to the vibrations, the highest, most powerful electric vibrations of love, happiness, unity, freedom, peace, victory, Victory for humans, victory for animals, victory for this earth, victory to us all, collective awakening, collective victory, continuous, never-ending, infinite victory. Bringing your hands up into the state of victory, connecting to the biggest possible feeling you can, of connecting to the universe, connecting to the victoriousness of the entire universe, all of humanity, this new earth that is birthing through all of us. Arms up as high as you can, reaching through your fingers, back arched a little bit more than you think, sticking out the chest, letting your head tilt backwards. Holding your body in this position, arms open a little bit more, reaching a little bit higher, back tilted a little more, head a little bit more tilted. Breathing into this position and letting the body gently sway or move as it needs to while staying in this relative position. Just letting the energies readjust through your body, reorganize the structures of your body through your spine, down your arms, your shoulder, into your organs, into your blood, through your bones, into your hips, into your legs, down to your feet. Allowing your body to sway and move, shake, whatever it needs to, receiving these vibrations down. Allowing this new vibration to help reorganize your entire body. Moving it through you, the future vibrations moving down through you, reorganizing your entire system, your nervous system, your mental system, your emotional system, physical systems, letting it move through your body, reorganizing all of your systems, connecting you deeply and fully into the future. Deeply and fully into the highest good, the highest happiness, the highest love, the highest light, the highest peace, the highest place. Allowing your body to sway, move, shake, undulate, whatever is needed to allow just this energy to move through. Just allow your body to reorganize, letting go of control, too much control of the body, letting the body move as it needs to, just to let this energy in. Let yourself move as this energy wants to dance and play in your body, to reorganize, to connect your body to this vibration. Taking a deep breath. Bhavantu sa mangalam rakantu sa devata sabha sabadama sangasanganu bhavina saraswati bhavantu te. When you're ready, if you're ready, you can return. If you feel like you want to stay in this state, if you need to lay down, if you need to sit down, if you need to stand up, if you need to just take a minute, take an hour, if you need to fall asleep, do whatever you need to feel fully integrated in this energy. This teaching, this understanding, this download is now available for you here on Facebook Live. To remember, to access, to share. This is magic. This is actual magical practices. This is how we're going to change the world, by changing ourselves, by becoming anchors to the reality that we wish to create, by connecting parts of ourselves to that reality, by shifting ourselves out of heaviness, out of suffering, out of stuckness, out of victimization, reclaiming our power, which we didn't even know we had. Thank you so much for joining me this evening and this Tuesday Night Live. Thank you for being part of my community. Thank you for dedicating your time to me. If you missed some of it, feel free to watch the replay. Please share this with others that you think would benefit from it. I want everybody on the planet to understand this, especially the children. I want to teach this to 10 million children to create the new world. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Tessa. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Sue, Karen. Those who are watching this in the future, thank you. And so it is. 10 million children creating the new earth together. So be it. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. Hope to see you again next Tuesday. Tuesday Night Live, out.